So I listed some example here, like the embedded operating system for these handheld and tablet operating systems. And all these, for including the iOS and the Blueberry OS and the Cyber OS and the Android and the Windows Phone and the HP the HP Web operating system. All of them are like we use touchscreen input and this graphical user interface. Okay, so we've talked about the Windows, which is more widely used, right? And the also very powerful and easy to use operating system like Mac operating system provided by the Apple company. And the Unix is network operating system, and it is originally designed for the web, and it is a very classic and open source operating system. And the Linux is also is free from the web, right? And if we want to do some kind of the software programs, usually we use a lot of Linux operating system. And here I showed some example. This is most frequently used operating system, the Windows, Microsoft Windows. And the Mac operating systems, right? Okay, like the Mac icon, and it has similar. It has a menu and it has some icons and it has some windows, and it has a dock, which is a taskbar, and you may have some pointer to input output to do the interface to control your computer. And then this is also in the Mac operating system. For this boot camp, you can boot into your Mac operating systems or into the window. Okay, you can select this option to boot your Intel Mac into Windows. Okay, such kind of different operating systems provided by. Okay, then we talk about the Linux and Unix, right? Okay, for this Unix operating system, it serves on the web. It mainframe the computer and it is used for the personal computer. Okay, so it is originally designed to run on mini computers, but now it's used in network environments. And it is used by very powerful microcomputers and by the servers on the web. There are a large number of different versions of this Unix operating system. And about the Linux, in fact, it is a kind of a version of this Unix. Okay, so in fact, it is an operating system that is an extension of the Unix version. Okay, it is an extension. So it is free distribution. It's a free distribution of the operating system code. That means it is an open source. It is free. You can find the Linux from the internet, and you can see all the original programs or the codes of this operating system because it's an open source operating system. And nowadays, the Google Chrome operating system, if you bought a computer from this Google company, you may have a Google Chrome operating system. And in fact, it is designed or implemented based on this Linux operating system. It focuses on the internet connectivity and cloud computing. And the speed is also determined by the speed of the internet. So this is some basic concepts about this Unix and Linux. And I showed here an example about this Linux operating system. In fact, we have some very famous ones like Ubuntu, like CentOS, like Red Hat, a lot of very famous ones. And in fact, it's also quite similar in this Windows or Mac operating system. We may say, though they are different operating system, but a lot of features they share are quite similar. Okay. For example, both of them are similar. They have some icons here, and they have windows to represent different programs. And they also use these taskbars for these programs you are executing, and some notifications or other tasks can be stored in these taskbars. So this is an example about the Ubuntu. Okay, you can see here. It's a Ubuntu operating system. Okay, then as I earlier referred that we also have some kind of operating system that we call it a virtualization, the virtualized operating system. So that means it can support multiple operating systems that operate independently by running virtualization software, like the VMware I have earlier recorded. And each operating system is known as a virtual machine. For example, we have a host operating system and a guest operating system. The host operating system is the operating system of the physical machine, while the guest operating system is the operating system of the virtual machine. Okay, so here, the host and the guest. And each one considered as a separate, independent computer. So we need some virtualization software like VMware. If you are interested, you can download this software and install virtualization software on your own computer. For example, if now your computer is in the Windows operating system, you can launch such kind of virtualization software and install a Linux operating, like Ubuntu operating system in your computer. So we say the parallels. The parallels is an example of a virtual software program that allows Mac to run Windows programs in operating X. Okay, so a Mac can run Windows program in operating system X. That's the parallel. So for example, here is a Mac, correct? And here is a Windows. And all these can be launched by this virtualization software. They're basically we can say there has some merits of this virtualization software that you don't need to install all these operating systems directly in your RAM, right? It's just virtualized. So the memory allocated for the operating system is much smaller than you directly installed an operating system in your RAM. So in some cases, we choose such kind of method to launch another operating system. Okay, so this is what I've said here. VMware, it is one kind of the very popular virtual machine software, and we have also others like the Parallels. It parallels desktop can run on most computers with Intel microprocessors, including like Intel Macs, Intel PCs, or generic Linux computers. Okay, so this is an example on a Mac. It uses a virtual Linux and Windows. This is a virtual Linux and this is a virtual Windows. They can switch from one operating system to another, and it is very as simple as select a window, right? You can just select this window. You don't need to reboot your computer or restart your computer. You just choose another window, and then you can switch to different operating systems. And when you switch to such kind of, for example, the Windows working area, you can run games, you can run business software and other application designed for the Windows operating system. And by clicking such kind of Linux working area, you can run Linux applications from its vast collection of open source software, right? And of course, running the original Mac operating system, you could run a collection of high-end graphics and multimedia iLife software designed exactly for this Windows computer, the hardware, right? By using its powerful graphic control unit, the graphic processing unit. So this is an example shown in the Windows. We have the Windows Authority to control a lot of panels. Okay, so this is a control panel you can see, and in the control panel you can control the system and security, and you can do the option about the network and internet, and about the hardware and the sounds, the programs, and also your account, right? Your personalization and the clock language and how to access your computer. And all these can be selected by in this start button, and you may find your own control panel. Okay,